Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Nez Porter at you. Just want to give you guys some footage of them putting the crane together. They've been putting this together since early this morning. It's about 9 o'clock right now, but each one of these pieces had to come in separately and put together because this is such a large crane. I want to see if I can give you guys the full entire depth of how big this crane is here. This crane has to come in multiple pieces. There's no way you can fit this all on one truck. So, when the height of it is so enormous there, you gotta have multiple sections. So, not only is safety a factor, teamwork is a very important factor as well. And I'll try to give you some footage of them putting this crane together. As you can see, they backed the truck up for the other piece there. So they're getting ready for the receiving end of that. It takes a lot of preparation, teamwork, communication, skill.
How you doing, sir?
How you doing?
Road's closed. We need you to get out of here for your safety.
For my safety?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna get hurt back here.
I know, but the road's closed.
I understand the road is closed, but the walkway, they didn't close the walkway.
I'm just worried about for your safety.
Well, I'm not gonna get hurt. Trust me. I'm in the safe zone. Trust me.
Okay. Who do you work for?
I work for myself.
Okay.
Independent journalist.
Okay. I just want to make sure you're just clear.
No, within the
This is an operation.
Yeah, I understand. I seen it done before. I just put it on for content.
I got you.
No problem.
I just stepped in like a little, right behind the crane.
Yeah, I know what to get out the way. If something happens, I know how to get out the way.
It's a closed area though, sir.
I
You see the signs up there?
I see the road's closed,
Yeah.
but I walked on a sidewalk. The sidewalk's not closed.
Yeah.
It's not closed, trust me. Sidewalk is not closed at all. I understand this part right here is closed because it's right there. But back there is nothing blocking anything back there. And this is...
Well, we can add some signs then.
if it was a safety factor, the sign should have been there a long time ago. I'm not trying to make your job harder than it is either, trust me. Now this will not be the first time that somebody told me the road is closed and it wasn't, and then they add the signs after the fact. It happens all the time. Apparently they don't take precaution in closing the road, or they don't think on how they're going to close the road, but they always do. It happened to me before. I was able to drive all the way through a construction site with no barricades whatsoever. I understand the truck is blocking the road, but the sidewalk, when I came through, I don't know if I have it on my other video, but there was nothing blocking the sidewalk. I don't know if I have that footage. I'll have to check later on and see if I have it. And I'm not gonna walk like in the crane area. I have no intentions of being past the safety zone. I do know the safety zone. Believe it or not, I have training in various different things, whether you believe it or not, but I do. Don't have to prove it, but like I was just saying before I was interrupted, teamwork is very important. Everybody has to be on the same page. Communication is very important. But above all, safety is the priority. Ultimately, safety is the number one reason. And I'm pretty sure these guys have done this numerous times before, which makes it, easier. The more you do it, the easier it gets. Now the other question is, when you close a road, you're supposed to have a police detail present. You're supposed to notify the police department you close the road. At no point did any broadcast come across the police radio saying this road, which I believe is Ipswich Street, is closed. So that's another issue. Boston police should be notified when you close the road. In case of an emergency vehicle has to pass through here, in the event that an emergency vehicle or fire truck or ambulance has to come through here, they have to be notified not to take this route, because that's life saving time that could be wasted if they don't know this road is closed. Think if you have a loved one on an ambulance and en route to the hospital, and there's plenty of hospitals in this area, and they're coming from off the Mass Pike or coming from somewhere else, making their way through the city, and they have to figure out later on that they met with a road closed. That wouldn't be safe at all. Now you waste 5 minutes trying to find another route to get over here. And this is a fast route if you're trying to get from, say, the Copley Square area over to here. This is one of the quickest routes to get over here, through this back road right here, just so you guys know. You have a car right behind him over there, and if it's such a safety zone, why is that car able to get that close to them and make a U-turn over there? And a road construction this big, according to Boston Police rules and regulations, you would need at least 3 police details. You would need maybe one down there, maybe one over here, and another further over there. There's a lot of teamwork involved, definitely that.
Attention all officers, reporting to BCEC for roll call at 10. Please park on the side of the parking lot closest to D Street. Again, all officers reporting to the BCEC for roll call at 10 o'clock. Please park on the side of the parking lot closest to D Street. Boston operating 940.
Like I said, I'm going to try to get as much footage as I can of them putting this crane together. And these gentlemen been out here all day, or I should say all morning, bringing this piece in section by section by section and assembling. It's almost like, rebuilding it over again, because you have to take it out in sections. There's no way it comes out in you couldn't fit this down the road all by itself like that. It has to be in section on top of section. you doing?
We have a construction site. You have to be at least 90 feet away from here.
Where's that posted at?
Huh?
Where's that posted?
That's you here to confirm.
Where's that
You
posted?
don't wanna, I'll call the police.
You can call the police. Go ahead.
They know that.
Yep, you call them. Go ahead. Give them a call. They know who I am. There's nothing saying you got to be 90 feet away, so he can call the police if he wants to. Like, I'm not gonna argue with people all day. You know, they got their own agenda. You know, I'm here for news and informational purposes only. You can't block a road after somebody already went through it. You block the road before they come through it. If he wants to call the police for that and then explain to the police why he didn't call for a detail, then that's on him. But I'm not gonna argue with him. He said you gotta be 90 feet away from a construction site. There's no rule that I heard of that you gotta be 90 feet away from a construction site. I never heard that. I'm gonna look that up. Is there a rule? There's not a law for sure. Maybe it's a construction rule. I know there is a hard hat area only regulation that, you know, inside of a construction zone, you gotta have a hard hat and safety gear if you're on a roof or a ladder, stuff like that. You know all that, but never heard 90 feet away from a construction zone. I don't even think that even exists, to be honest with you. But some of my viewers out there, you can look that up. Is there such thing as a 90 feet away rule for a construction site? Now, I would respect their wishes if I was like right next to them and I was like under that, you know, crane. I'm about, wow, I'm like more than 90 feet away from the crane. I'm way back here. I'm about, let me see, 10, 20, 30, maybe 60 feet away, not quite 90, maybe 60 feet away. I'm not gonna lie and say I'm 90 feet away from that crane, and I'm not. I'm about 60 feet away from that crane. But I'm well not in the area of this crane. This crane is not even in function right now until they lift it up. And that's gonna be a little while longer before they activate that. The other thing is too, you gotta believe in what you believe in. Just because somebody tell you something doesn't mean it's necessarily true. I was at work and this guy named Steve Donahue was showing me a building. He's supposed to be the, I guess the regional manager of HMR, which is Housing Management and Resources. And he's showing me, Andrew, and this other guy named Jose a building. And he's talking about knob and tube, and he's showing me a heat detector on the ceiling and told me it was knob and tube. And he said he saw copper wires running from there and all this stuff. He kept going on and on and on. And I was waiting for the punchline, but there was none. And I stopped and I said, wait a minute, hold up. You just changed 3 subjects. That's not knob and tube up on that ceiling right there. He goes, yes it is. Now he's trying to argue with me. I said, that's not knob and tube. That's called a heat detector or a rate of rise detector. That's a fire safety device. And then he goes and says the electrician tells him that it's knob and tube. And then I say, well, if he told you that, he's not an electrician for number one. And I'm telling you it's not knob and tube because I know what knob and tube looks like. And I worked on knob and tube before. So don't tell me it's knob and tube and it's not knob and tube. And then he looked at me with a silly, stupid grin on his face, like how dare you put me in my place? Now, how is this lady walking through here? Now, I got a question for you. How did you get through there? He tells me this is a construction zone, right?
Yeah,
he doesn't but you're able to walk through there, right?
Yeah, I asked, I can go this way,
yeah.
I should go that way. And
exactly. So he made it seem like this road is blocked off, and I told him, this road's not blocked off. It's pedestrian traffic. You can't cut pedestrian traffic off unless we're going in between there. That's something different, but you need a way to get home, back and forth to work. So they can't tell you not to use the sidewalk, right?
I really don't know.
The guy told me I couldn't stand here and record. I'm like, Why? I'm recording them doing that. I'm not in the construction zone.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I was just questioning, well, why would they block off a road but no put no signs?
Yeah.
It's weird, but I think I see more people bashing forward than saying, well, how can you stop one person, not stop everybody else? So I don't know.
So are you going to Delaware or?
No, I came here because early this morning they started setting up this crane, and I have a YouTube channel.
Oh,
So I
okay.
always record stuff in public, and I'm recording them set up the crane. Because they've been here early this morning, like 7 o'clock this morning. It takes a long time to set the crane up. So I said, well, it's some footage from my YouTube channel. But I
Okay,
figure
great.
I'll do that.
Nice. Good luck with your channel.
Okay, I didn't want to stop you, but I said, well, I want to figure out how she was able to make it through there, but yet they make a big deal about me being here. But I don't know this.
Gotta clear this sidewalk if you don't mind, please.
Okay, so,
Please come in.
okay, have the police come, and I'll explain to them how this is. If you're going to make a big issue about it, I'm going to make an issue about how the sidewalk's not blocked off. You don't have a police detail here as well.
We called them.
I know, but you should be a police detail. No construction is supposed to happen unless it's a police detail. And the other thing is, you guys are not calling the road closing.
It's already been called.
Who called it in and who?
Already been called in.
Who do you call it to?
City of Boston.
You called it. What's the number you called? Because they have.
City of Man will tell you.
What number did you guys call for the street closing?
What's kind of call?
What number did he call? Because they have no list of a street closing right now.
Yes, they do.
If they have the listen, give me the CC number. I'll look it up later on. But usually,
Okay, you still have to back up.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. This is the public sidewalk, right? You cannot block a public sidewalk. Well, have the police come out here and tell me the street is blocked, and I'll tell them one thing, that you have a safety factor right here. And I call OSHA on you guys as well.
Go ahead.
All right?
You just have to back up. I can't have
I'm not gonna back up on the sidewalk. You can give me all the narratives you want to give me, all the directions you want to give me, but they're not legal and not lawful. Just so you know. I understand how it goes, but I've been down that road before. I've been doing it longer than you. Then if you've been doing it for 30, I'm older than you. I don't look that old, but I'm older than you, buddy.
I'm 67.
Oh, well, you got me beat, you know. But you said you've been doing it for 30. I've been doing it longer than 30. And trust me, I'm not trying to give you a hard time either. I'm standing here recording in public, not bothering anybody. Just trying to do what I gotta do.
How are you today, sir?
Hey, how you doing today? What's happening?
Good. What are you up to? Because you're in a safety zone right here.
I'm in the safety zone. Okay.
There's security. I mean, technically without a hard hat, we shouldn't even be within 50 feet of that. Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm gonna have to ask you
I got a question for you. This
Yeah.
is such a safety zone, right? How were you in here without a hard hat on, right?
I'm supposed to have a hard hat on.
Okay. The other question is two young ladies that passed through here, and another guy that went that way
Yeah.
earlier.
They shouldn't be doing that. Here's the thing is that, unfortunately, Boston Police couldn't fill the detail because they're stretched so thin.
I understand
But
that.
sir,
Yeah.
by the way, we're a third-party vendor for the Red Truck Security. We're gonna have to ask you to move out of this thing so they.
This is the public sidewalk.
No, it isn't. Because this.
Look, I'm gonna show you something. See that
I
sidewalk there?
understand. Yeah, sir.
Because that sidewalk is blocked off,
Sir,
this is the extension of the
Sir,
public sidewalk.
sir, all they're gonna do is you can either depart and get on the other side of those vehicles, or they have to call the police.
Okay, call the police and have them
Okay.
come down and tell me that. Because I'm not gonna take directly to somebody who doesn't have any authority on this public sidewalk.
Actually, this technically.
This
they set
technically
it
is a
up-
sidewalk.
Actually, it's a street.
Legally, if you block the sidewalk, you gotta provide a sidewalk for the people, pedestrians to walk
Yeah.
on.
Well,
That
you can-
is an extension
Sir,
of this.
I'm not an expert at that.
I'm an expert at it. Trust me.
What type of expertise do you have here?
I'm gonna tell you right now. See this right here? That's a sidewalk.
Yeah, sir.
Because they're doing construction.
I'm not going to debate this out.
Listen to me. Listen, I'm not gonna
Sir.
argue with you. Listen.
Sir, I'm not
Because
gonna debate.
there's no sidewalk, we're not gonna debate it. So I stay right here. I mean, you can call the cops and have them come down. I'd be glad to tell them in the public sidewalk and not bother nobody. See, that's what I'm saying. People always want to stop you from doing what you're doing. Now, if I came over there and stopped them from doing what they're doing, it'd be a problem.
Sir, they have a road closed permit.
They have a road closed permit,
They have a
but
road closed
what
permit.
about a sidewalk closed permit?
It's the whole. It takes the whole thing. It's building the building.
Okay,
So,
if they
sir,
do that, where's it at?
it's posted. They don't need to have it posted.
They-
That's why
you-
it's set up, sir.
You gotta have it.
I'm just telling
If you have a
sir,
permit, you gotta
sir,
post it.
Sir, I'm not arguing.
I'm not gonna argue with you.
Argue it out with the police
All right, when they get here, I'll
That's
talk to
fine.
them. All right.
Sir, I understand.
I understand you.
complaint.
Yeah.
I understand your complaint.
Gotcha.
Sir, all I would ask, could you step back? Well,
Well, that's not gonna move. I know that's
it
not
doesn't
gonna
matter.
move.
No, but could you step back like just 10 feet? Because
All right,
I don't even want to be that close. No,
I understand.
just if they move anything,
They're not gonna move that. Trust me.
actually they might swing. But who
They-
knows? If I get
If they move that with that like that, that's a major problem. If they move this truck with that thing hanging like that, that's a major problem. I'll tell you that right now. If somebody gets out and move that truck while them guys are on it working on it, that's gonna be a major damn problem. I'll tell you that right now. Nobody better not be moving that truck at all. That's a safety factor. If they move that truck left or right, that's gonna hurt people on both sides. So there's no way that truck's getting moved. And if that truck moves by accident, that's another problem. You're gonna tell me that truck's gonna move. Now, I don't know if you guys can see this. This guy's right there, like next to that truck. If that truck moves and hits those guys, or swings and hit this crane, I don't care if it moves 3 inches. If that truck moves, they're not gonna have a problem with me. They're gonna have a problem with state inspectors, city inspectors, OSHA inspectors. A whole lot of people are gonna come down and want to know why that crane moved without it properly rigged up the right way. If you look right here, those jaws, the lifters are not even attached. They're supposed to go down to this little piece right here on both sides, bolt it down. So you can't even theoretically lift that up without that being on there. And the pulleys connected over there. It's gonna take hours and hours before them to even have that ready to go up in the air.
Okay, guys.
Like I was talking to a young lady earlier, she was able to walk through here, and she came right along this sidewalk right here. And there was another young lady that walked through here just before I was over here. So people are able to pass through here, and they were passing through here. Now, if you cut off this road, that means they gotta walk all the way around the backside of Fenway, come out the other side towards, I'm not sure what that street is over there. I think it's, forget that name, it's a weird name. It's the street before Queensbury. I can't think of the name right now, but you have to walk all the way around. And trust me, I'm not trying to give these guys a hard time at all. I just came out here to record a little footage of them putting a crane together. Now, if they don't want me to record the crane, they could do it in the privacy inside of a building somewhere. But I know all about the First Amendment and all about the freedom of travel. And to me, like, if you have a permit to block the street, but yet you got these cones kind of guiding you around the walkway area, I don't see the logic behind that. So Boston Police cannot fill this detail for a number of reasons. They have a major event that's going to be taking place later on today, hopefully, or maybe not hopefully. And the Boston Police now are all gearing up for this massive protest that may take place or may not take place. They reinforced the State House with all kind of gates and plastic and penetrating shields and stuff like that. I might get a footage of that later on, but they're expecting some kind of uprising before the inauguration. And right now, as we speak, the Boston Police are being briefed on riot control and crowd control and what to do and what not to do. So that's another issue that's going on in the city of Boston. There's so much things going on in the city of Boston right now. They are correct. They did try to fill this detail. This detail does require 1 supervisor and 2 officers, and Boston Police are kind of short-handed right now. and they pretty much told him you're on your own as far as do what you got to do. I did not hear the street closing go through. I'm not saying they don't have the permit to do it. I'm pretty sure they do have the permit to block off the street. I'm not doubting that at all. But I'm not gonna let someone tell me something that's not true about I have to be back 50 feet. When in reality, you just have to be in a safe area, and I'm well in a safe area. That crane is at least 60 feet away from me. At least 60 feet, maybe longer. Or further, I should say. So, I didn't come out to give nobody a hard time by no means at all. Let me see if I can adjust this thing here too while I'm here. Let's try this out. Now, Red Sox Security, I know a few people that do work for Red Sox Security. I'm not going to say their names, so they know who I am. Matter of fact, I might know the head guy up there. But I'm not giving Red Sox Security a hard time either. Let's see what we got here. It's pretty chilly out here too, so you gotta put your gloves on. And I'm not trying to give you a hard time.
Yeah, I hope you don't have a warrant.
No, I don't have a warrant. There's no way to figure that out anyway. Well, I'm not hanging around. I'm just gathering content for a story. He told me the police are coming, and he said, I hope you don't have a warrant. I said, well, they're going to have to figure it out the hard way, because under Massachusetts law, you don't have to identify yourself unless you're suspected of doing a crime. Right now, this would be no crime at all, other than walking on the public sidewalk. And from what I understand, you cannot be trespassed on the public sidewalk. Now, they could actually leave because it's blocked off, and then once they actually leave, then leave. But they're not the owners of the street. Now, as you can see, like, they're putting all those tape up there and stuff now. That stuff wasn't there before. All that tape, he's just putting that tape up now. So when I came here, there was no tape, there's no cones. I don't know if you guys see it. Now they're blocking. Now this is the third time this happened.
Attention all officers who are reporting to the BCEC for the 10 o'clock roll call. Please park on the side of the parking lot closest to D Street. Again, all officers reporting to the BCEC for roll call at 10. Please park on the side of the parking lot closest to D Street. Boston operating all channels, 959.
Now, if you look, right, they just put those extra cone in front of that truck. He just ran that tape from one side to the other side and put two cones in the walkway. As you can notice, that young lady I was talking to earlier, she passed through here. She came means of that direction right there. And there's nothing blocking off the sidewalk in that direction. So this will be interesting. And by the time they come here, I probably got enough content I want to get anyway. I don't want to, like I said, I'm not going to stay here all day. And it'd be interesting what the Boston police has to say about it too.
102. 104.
This is the this is actually the fourth section of the crane, the extension part of the crane. That's the fourth section they're putting on right now. You see the smallest section connected to the crane, and the two longer ones, and then the third one that they're putting on now. This thing gets pretty big, so like I said, I'm not going to stay here all day. But I just want to give a little footage of guy's putting this crane together. Yeah, besides, it's kind of chilly out here. I don't want to be out here in the cold all day. There goes the caution tape in his hand. So that's why they always say record and document what you see, because they're gonna claim that that was already there, and I'm gonna say, well, they put that there without my knowledge, because I'm over here. How am I supposed to know they put that over there? And even though they put that over, they put it though after the fact.
Lifespan Black Mill and construction closed lockdown towards Magnolia.
That's a lot of teamwork, and you know, see what they're gonna do is they're gonna secure that piece to the crane. The crane is gonna lift it up in the air. The flatbed is gonna pull away from it, and then they're gonna line that piece up with the existing piece that's already on the other crane. And you'll see how they do it in a second. That thing's probably a couple of thousand pounds easily.
Charlie 415.
Ma'am, can you send that 20 Michigan out now, please?
Thank you.
This is the very important part too, is when you rig those lifting straps, you got to know where to put those at. Usually you want to put them further apart from each other as possible, so you have the most lifting area.
104, can you put out that description again of what he said, the guy that attacked him?